1994, I was a little boy in P3. The first election that I witnessed consciously was the one of 1994, the Constituent Assembly. So when I saw posters of politicians or candidates hanging on trees, I was in the Kibale primary school. So I went home and I said, no, I also want to be voted. I thought it was just about getting your poster. So I went and sketched
your poster.
My poster. By then what was common, there were 3 words.
Yes.
Having originated from the TESA background.
Yes.
And in P3, even the English, I didn't comprehend well. Had a rural background. So there were 3 words, but only one was very familiar to me. There was one word, Oseo, vote, Londa.
Hello, welcome to our podcast. My name is Javier Silas Omagor, and in the studio today we have one and the only member of parliament elect for Kibale County in Pallisa District. We are talking about the Honorable Constantine Okwi, who of course will represent Kibale all the way to 2031, right?
Yes.
So welcome aboard. It's good to have you here sharing with us.
Thank you so much.
How has the journey been like?
Well, intriguing, tough, and exciting. You know, when you have a vision that you believe in, any hitches and glitches you meet along the way only become stepping stones, become some form of encouragement, some form of impetus. So it's not been easy, but I'm not complaining.
So there are a lot of take homes.
I'm not complaining.
All right, great. And so let's help our viewer and our readers understand who the Honorable Member of Parliament elect for Kibale County is.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okwi Constantine is my name. About 42 years of age. Yes, sometime this year. I think I'll be making 42. I was lucky to go to school. From primary, I was in Kibale primary school. Secondary, I went to a couple of schools. I was in total of 3 schools. I started in Bugisu, St. John's College, Magale. I had a stint in Pallisa SS. And then I finally sat my examinations in Ikik SS.
Oh, yes.
And that's now in Kibale District. By then it was in Pallisa District. From Ikik, I went to College Wairaka for my A-level. And from College Wairaka, I think I'm one of those persons who attended the 2 universities, 2 university campuses, but got a bachelor's degree. So I had a stint in Makerere University main campus, and I hit some wall, and I moved to Makerere University Business School, where I graduated with the first class honors degree of business administration, majoring in finance and accounting.
Yes.
I was retained on staff development. I did my master's, still majoring in finance and accounting. I have had a couple of professional engagements I have taken a training in CTA, certified
professional accountant.
I mean, CTA is
CTA.
certified tax
not CPA.
advisor. I have had a chance to study fraud, so I had a 1 year's course in CFE, Certified Fraud Examiner. And I'm an associate of SCCA, CPA Uganda. I think about education.
There's a lot to say. There's a lot to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah, I can say.
I have been lucky to engage in the world of work.
In the corporate world?
Yes, after my A-levels in Wairaka, I worked as a teacher as I was transitioning to the university. So I worked in Central College Kamuli, where I really had a very nice experience. I was young, energetic,
vibrant.
Yes, we made the results there.
Yeah, and I'm very lucky that you actually did impact one of my sisters, the one who follows me actually.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, who was your student.
Yes, then I have been an accountant of an international NGO, the AIDS of Finance Education Trust. And then, like I told you, after my first degree, I was retained on staff development. I have lectured at a university. So it is easier to call me a teacher than anything else. From while at the university, I was engaging in consultants work. So I started a consultants firm called Pallisa Consulting, where I became the managing partner. And yes, even to date, that consultants runs, and I'm still the managing partner. But I've also had a stint in the management of other companies. I had a stint in as a general manager of Thompson Creek Uganda Limited. And in my consultants work, I've worked with a couple of companies. Sometimes as a contractor, and sometimes I've had people request that I really take up some short-term employment engagement, so I would work as an employee. So, well, unless there is something else you would like.
No, I think that's a great. Of all those, which one did you enjoy most? I know you already said that you would largely identify as a teacher, but is that what you would rather say that is one that you enjoyed most?
True. Yeah.
Mentoring others, showing people the right path, molding.
Yeah, when you are a teacher, you're building the world.
Yeah. The next,
Yeah, you're building
next
the world.
generation,
You're touching the lives of young people. And see, they would go out there and serve several other people. It may not be the most pecuniary earning profession, but it's social and spiritually.
The satisfaction.
It is the most satisfying. You see, today I walk into places and I find my former students.
Yeah. It makes you rejoice on the inside. You feel
luckily,
proud.
I think I was a good teacher. I have never walked into a place and my student hides.
They come forth.
They will be so happy, identifying. Of course, now after a long period of time, I was dealing with so many. I can't remember all of them. But I do remember. They would proudly say, "Oh, Mr. Okwi, you know, you taught me in Central College Kamuli. You taught me at the university." Yeah. So one time, I went to a hotel. So when I sat at some distant tables, there were other people. So a young man walked to me and said, your bill is paid. Like, but who are you? He said, hey, you're my teacher. is the least I can do for you. Once you're done with your engagement here, you can just walk away.
Don't bother about cashing in.
Yes, you can see how good this is.
Yeah.
I have been to a bank, and while I try to queue, someone comes to pick my paper. I'm like, hey, what's happening? Is this the economy? I said, Mr. Okwi, you're my teacher. Why do you lie when I'm here? I have been to a hospital, and I've had the same experience. So, like I told you, I think teaching is the
most satisfying.
Most satisfying.
All right. Teaching is the most satisfying of all the undertakings that you have put under your belt so far. That's nice to know. So, Honorable Okwi, you have just been elected Member of Parliament. You are going to be a member of the 12th Parliament, but you have done that after pulling off one of the most mouth-watering victory against a seasoned Member of Parliament, Richard Oseko. I mean, what does that victory mean to you, but to the people as well of Kibale County?
One element which is distinctive about me, I have always had a deep and strong attachment to the plight and cause of the people, especially the local person. If I must tell you, for me being in politics, I think it's more of a spiritual element than merely an expediency approach that I know people are making money in politics. I should also be there. It's out of the desire to inspire that I got into politics. And to give you a little bit of background, in 1994, I was a little boy in P3. The first election that I witnessed consciously was the one of 1994, the Constituent Assembly. So when I saw posters of politicians, of candidates hanging on trees, I was in the Kamugealenga Primary School. So I went home and I said, no, I also want to be voted. I thought it was just about getting your poster. So I went and sketched
your poster.
My poster. By then what was common, there were 3 words.
Yes.
Having originated from the TESA background.
Yes.
And in P3, even the English, I didn't comprehend well. Had a rural background.
Yeah.
So there were 3 words, but only one was very familiar to me. There was one word, Koseo, vote, Londa. Then they would put the name of the candidate down here.
Yes.
So I also did the same. I drew myself. And back then
there were no political parties?
Yes, but there were no political parties, so I hung on trees. So there's some old man who laughed at me. And he told me, but it's a good idea, but you're still young.
So which position were you vying for?
I wanted to go to the Constituent Assembly.
The CA.
So he said, it's a good idea, yes, but you're still young, maybe in the future. So it's when I now discovered that actually I couldn't be...
He mocked, but at the same time advised you constructively.
And by the way, he started calling me CA. Even up to now, when he still lives.
He's still alive.
He still calls me CA.
He must be the most satisfied person, seeing the person he saw making a wild dream come true.
Yeah, I get to the university, and like all that I've told you, finish school, get a little bit of work, and now
at school, were you holding leadership positions at school?
Yeah.
Okay.
And see, I'm of age, and now I get to my constituency, and the perception of the politicians, I would say, was very negative, because people believed For you to win an election, you need to take the money to the voters, bribe them, and so one time.
So when you say negative, their perception was negative. You mean negative towards the process or negative towards you?
The voters, I mean.
Oh yes.
I mean the way the voters perceive politics and leadership.
Yeah.
They thought it was merely about you having money, and see when you go give the voters money, you win, go to parliament. So one time I had an engagement with my member of parliament. I tried to explain to him that people are not happy because he was not there, and they were not understanding why. So
he was not on ground?
Yeah, wasn't on the ground. So the kind of impression he gave me was that those people are merely complaining because they want money from him. And somehow I was one of the people that he was talking about. Because when you talk about the people,
because you're a voter.
I am a voter there.
Yes.
But when I looked at myself, that description was not perfect. It was not matching me. At least I wanted to be represented. You wanted
to be heard.
Yes, I wanted to be heard.
Thank you for coming. Our road is down.
I wanted to know about the government development initiatives.
Yes.
You know, how we change people to come out of poverty. So I set out, I said, well, I have been in the people. I have been I have had opportunity to lead in other. I think it's time for me to try out. I didn't have money, but I had the inspiration. I really wanted to start that way. I wanted to start that way, such that the young person, the local person, the farmer, that the poor person gets to know that what matters is what is in your spirit. What matters is your vision. What matters is your potential, not your current position. So, when you
not your status, financial status, circumstances.
So that was the motivation. Of course, I had people mock me. You see, one time someone called me and he wanted money from me. I said, I don't have money. Then he said, but what are you doing in politics?
Get up.
What are you doing in politics? You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You must have money for you to be what you want to be. You can't give me 10,000? You are just a fool.
Oh.
Yes, I have those experiences.
Oh.
One time
insulted, mocked, and laughed at.
Yes, sometimes someone came to my home in the morning and I like, okay, you're welcome. But it was a Sunday, I was going to church. Then I told him, okay, unfortunately, I'm going to church. Maybe we can interact later. He says, but I've come on this motorcycle, it's fuel. I said, unfortunately, I can't do much now, but in the course of the day, maybe I can send you some little money. I actually sent him 20,000.
Later. But before that?
When we spoke, the man accused me, said, but you're a very unserious man. How can you say you want to go to parliament and you're giving me only 20,000? Yeah, so
for fuel, you want to fuel.
Yes,
and
so,
motorcycle fuel.
Yeah,
it's too much even.
Yeah, so it was not really easy socially and psychologically, emotionally. But I knew.
Did this kind of interactions, which are financially oriented, remind you of what Honorable Oseku told you?
Yes.
That those people are demanding from you because they want money.
Yeah. So, of course, I nominated in 2021 as an independent candidate. And I really gave my all, what I could do, because I was serious. Of course, you need money to move about.
Yeah.
But I was not campaigning on the premise of giving people money. At least I was campaigning on the premise of inspiring people to look at their potential, to look at the future, to see the vision. Out of 7 candidates, I came third. And well, of course, the incumbent by then, who had the money, who had the connections, you know,
Yeah.
But it was not really genuine. I wouldn't say maybe I would have won, but considering the trend of things, maybe another candidate would have won. But the election was completely chaotic. People were beaten, people were hacked with pangas. There was the open bribery of voters at the polling stations. And see, it was a norm.
So that is 2021.
2021.
You sat it off, you swallowed all that and said, it's okay, let me go back to the drawing board.
Yes.
So which strategy did you rely on now to make sure that you come back stronger and successful in 2026?
Now, somehow, my learning and my own instincts told me, well, a competition that you can never win is that of money.
If you don't have. If you have money, you can always win.
Well,
if you have
the
more
challenge
money,
about money, anyone
much
can have
money.
it.
Much money.
Anyone can have money.
Yeah, but much money is not easy to get.
You know, anyone can have much money. But now, let us look at it this way.
Yeah.
You are 4 candidates, and all of you have 2 billion shillings on your account. 2 billion is a lot of money. Now,
so it's about a strategy now.
Who shall win?
I think the best strategy.
So now the money alone is not effective.
You must have a good strategy.
Honestly, me, I have not had money. I think I was one of the poorest candidates in the whole country.
Why do you say that?
I can tell you.
But
let me tell you my strategy.
Yeah.
So, after the 14th of January 2021, there had been a lot of pain inflicted on people, and even me. I remember in one polling station, they chased my agents. And I went there personally. When I reached there, I was arrested and embarrassed by the 1 inch. Because it was a polling station where the incumbent votes from. So people had been intoxicated all night. And see a polling station at the roadside, that day passing there, just merely passing there, even if you're on your own business.
As long as you are on the other camp.
You know,
or regardless of which camp.
Even if
it was an incumbent camp.
You would be accosted, you would be interrogated. So I go there, I said, but what's going on? Of course, the presiding officer tried to protect me, but there was a gang. They beat the 2 people I had gone with. I was manhandled, pulled, and my car was
smashed.
Damaged. So when I left that, actually it took the intervention of police to get me out of that. So I went back to my home. And I reflected on it, and I was like, okay, I think this election is gone. But it's just one election. There will be other elections. So the election was on the 14th of January. Now, I said, I want to convince my spirit. Like,
so you had lost an election mentally?
Yes.
This very one that took you to parliament?
No.
We're still in 2021?
2021. So I convinced, I said, no, this election is gone, but there will be another another election.
There will be another opportunity.
So what I want to convince myself, like there is another election tomorrow. So I need to begin work now. On the 15th of January, I was in the people. My supporters were bleeding. Some had been arrested. I tried to go check on them. I tried to reconcile them with the people that they had fought with. I told them, you see, we need to look at 2025, 2026. This one is gone. I know the election is rigged. Let us not think of court or what. No, we don't even have money. We have lost money. We don't have much.
We've lost even the little we have.
So what God told me to do was to build a relationship with the voters. So from 2021, I started building a relationship with the voters. The people that were telling me, you know, if people want money, you see you also disappear. You see you gather a lot of money, then if you want to go to parliament, in 2026 you come back.
When you have accumulated.
When you have accumulated. But my spirit...
That was not your strategy.
So I kept in the people. From 2021 to 2025, I think I'd been to 80% of the households in my county. It was tough. There was no money, but at least on a weekly basis, I was in the constituency. On a daily basis, there was something that I was doing. You attending a funeral, you attending a ceremony, marriage, baptism, you see, you're going to check on someone who is sick, you're socializing. Yeah, your vehicle is taking someone to hospital, your vehicle is taking someone to church for a wedding. So I was convinced that strategy will override the one of money. I really wanted to test the people.
Because it builds a strong bond between you and the electorate.
Yes, I wanted to test the people. And what distinguished me from my opponent was merely that I had built bonds with the voters. So money was no longer
secondary.
Effective. It was no longer effective. I had the opportunity, I would have some programs for women, then the
youth
sports for the youth. You see, I would do active women groups.
Yes.
Where there were no women groups, I would establish them.
Continuously dominant on the ground,
you would headhunt. I would go to the most popular agent of my opponent and say, no, this time I want to work with you. Then we have a chat. I explain to him what we are going to achieve together. Well, even if there's no money. And see, God performed the miracles. That out of 10 strong agents of the incumbent, maybe I was able to attract 8.
To win almost 99%.
Yes,
8. You only left 2.
You'd find out that in a whole sub-county, the man is left with only 2 agents.
Wow.
2 agents. The rest are now working with me. You know those people stage managing you? I said, me, I don't know. What I only know, I am honest about working with them. If they are cheating,
and that's what matters.
If they are
the truth from my side.
Yes. If they are playing dirty politics, that will come to pass. But for me, so now we get to 2026. We start with the NRM structure elections.
And you won your opponent
on 6th of June. Out of I have 64 villages in my constituency. My agency won in 56 villages.
Wow.
So I was now in control of the party structure. And I knew, see, miracles.
Is that the point it clicked?
Yes.
That it is coming. Victory is coming home.
Yes, because now politics is about numbers. And because you're one candidate, you need several other trustworthy people across the villages. So out of 64 villages, if I am in charge of 56, what else? And prior to the 6th, the man had poured in a lot of money. And that's when I discovered that I had defeated the money. because he brought money, bought salt for EC, supporters that were running for these positions. But we defeated them in 56 out of 64 villages. By the time we went to the parish...
So you spoke to the minds of the people, not to give them money, but to speak to their minds, open them.
Yes, and we're not giving them any money.
Share with them the strategy, the mission,
people
the
are now committed and said, no, we need one of our kind. When by the time we reached the parish level of the election for the structures, out of 12 parishes, I was in the command of 10 parishes.
Oh, wow.
Total command of 10 parishes. By the time we reach the, that election is about to, you see the people that come from
climax.
The village, go to the parish.
Yes.
So the more you have,
you win the numbers down the other
the better it is for you.
Yeah,
so the other ones, the other competitors will be out-competed. By the time we got to the parish, I had 100%.
Wow.
When we reached the district, I was the one in the command of the delegates from Kibale County.
Wow.
Yes. Actually, the incumbent wanted the position at the district, and he couldn't get it because he didn't have a single delegate. He wanted to become the chairperson.
Chairperson of the NRM.
Of the NRM.
Yeah.
No, it couldn't work because he didn't have a single delegate. Then he even tried to look for a position within the district executive committee. He wanted publicity. We put a candidate against him, the man, he got only his vote.
That was lethal. It was very lethal, Honorable.
By then I knew God had really
opened your door.
Changed.
Yes. The narrative,
Yes, had given my county a good picture.
Yeah.
It was not the county known for voting for money now. It was not the county now
ideas.
known. People were now focused.
Voting for ideas.
Yes, on ideas. So we got to the NRM primaries. And if my opponent was honest and politically elitist, maybe wouldn't even have attempted to challenge me.
Yeah. Because it was written on the wall.
Yes, because even in his own parish, out of 7 villages, I was in total command of 5.
Wow. You left him with only 2.
So that's why when we went to the NRM primaries, in NRM, a polling station is a village. So out of 64 polling stations, I defeated the man in 59.
Wow.
In 2 polling stations, there was no voting because those were easy villages. So they just wrote, they
just detect.
And did not even have the consciousness of checking out for dead voters and we had a very good track of people that had passed on.
And those who had shifted.
We even had a Mzee who died on the 16th. He was buried on the 18th.
But he voted.
He voted. Because I got to the register. When he went to the tribunal to petition.
Yes.
The Mzee is ticked. He also voted for the competitor. So it was embarrassing. We had a couple of people, some who had gone to Saudi and but all of them voted. So in those 2 villages there was no voting. So technically the man defeated me in only because 2 plus 59 is 61. So he defeated me in only 3 villages. 3 polling stations.
My word.
Now those polling stations, one, he defeated me by 8 votes, the other one by 31, the other one by about 26 votes. But where I was winning, I was defeating him by hundreds of votes.
Oh, the huge margin.
Yes, that's why out of, we have a small constituency of about 20,000 voters.
Yeah.
So 16 came out to vote, 16,000. I got 11,000. The man got 5,000. So I defeated the man by 6,000 votes.
Wow.
The incumbent, 10 years.
10 years.
With a lot of money. Port money. Like I told you, I was I should have been the poorest candidate in the whole country. In the primaries, I was running a campaign of maybe 30 million shillings. I tracked this man's expenditure. It was in excess of 700 million.
Yeah.
Excess of 700 million.
So he's in 600 plus.
So, well, we thought we were all ideologically grounded, that we belong to the NRM party, and we would respect our doctrine within the NRM, that when you run in the party primaries
and you lose
an election,
you give way for the party candidate,
winning comrade, because it's like a homestead affair. So you wouldn't keep running around. So by shock, the man returns. Independent? Yeah, he comes. You still beat him? Yeah, the man who has been in NRM he has been the NRM legislator for 10 years. Senior cadre, if you want. Well, yes, you've used the right word. Yeah. A senior cadre now. We should be privy to the discipline within the party. Who would really show, the culture of the party. Be a good role model and show all young people that you see these parties are very important. They are the engines of socio-political harmony. Let's respect what happens. The party values. Yes, the principles. Man decides to. First of all, he took me to the tribunal, to the shock of everyone. He said the election was not free and fair. There was violence, and said that I had ferried voters from other villages. I had children voting for me. Things that were really vexatious and really ridiculous. But in the tribunal confirms the will of the people, the verdict of the people, and seeing the judgment, they had really directed him to respect the party constitution, have some discipline, and back off, yes, and support the candidate flag bearer. But of course now people would sit and say, when you bring more money, you see, we told you that, but you didn't spend. You see this thing, don't just leave it. Honorable Okwi, let's talk about the issues that you found while you were canvassing Kibale County. What were the people saying? What were the issues, the challenges that those people were talking? Let's move on now. Okay. Well, maybe I should just conclude and say, I had the confidence that the people had altered their viewpoint. They were now looking at issues. They were not looking at money. Yeah, so the final election confirms what had happened in the primaries. Yeah. By the way, apart from people that were frustrated because he engineered a lot of violence, people's homes were demolished for supporting Okwi. People were beaten. We are lucky that we didn't lose a life. But up to now, I have people that I'm treating. But there was no change. I still defeated him by almost the same margin. The only difference this time, the voter turnout reduced. Yeah, because of the intimidation. But it was basically intimidation and violence. Oh, okay. Not so some people shied away. Some people did not come to vote because of what they had seen in the build-up. In the primaries, I had a 68% performance. He got 32%, about 32%. Even in the finals, my percentage got about 64. He went about 60, even 33. But still, God was good. I triumphed. So let's move on. Back to your question. Yeah, what are the issues? Yeah. It is the same with the rest of Bukedi and Pallisa District. People want to come out of poverty. To biting levels of poverty. Yeah. Poverty is pervasive. People are concerned the greatest issue is how do they come out of what? Of
Poverty cycle.
And honestly, people are poor because of economic poverty. We have a poor performance of the other social indices. You see, like you look at now the levels of education, well, the quality, I mean, of health and healthcare, the quality of housing, the standard of living, I would say, is really low. So people want to be shown how to come out of poverty. But of course, we had these specific concerns that people feel have not been properly communicated in the past 10 years. The issue of electricity. We have 3 sub-counties, 12 parishes, and I counted, we have about 47 trading centers where people meet, where you find some bit of development. We have shops and but out of the